Let me tell you something most people never consider. A lot of the fears, triggers, anxiety, and even the self-doubt you're fighting might not even be yours. When we grew up with limiting beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I need to be perfect, I don't deserve love, or I always mess things up, we assume it's because we failed or that something is wrong with us. But many times, these beliefs didn't start with us at all. Some come from childhood, some come from the time we were in the womb, some come from our parents and grandparents, and sometimes they come from lifetimes ago. That's why people say, I don't know why I keep repeating the same mistakes. Or I don't know why I feel anxious for no reason. Or I don't know why I can't let go even when I want to. It's because the conscious mind cannot fix what lives in the subconscious mind. This is what I call mental and emotional baggage. Old stories the nervous system is still holding on to, and here is the hopeful part. You can release it. In my work, we use hypnosis and energy healing to gently bypass the thinking mind and reach the subconscious mind, what we call the alpha state. That's where the root cause hides. People see memories, images, or emotional flashbacks, sometimes from childhood and sometimes from generations or even lifetimes ago. And when that emotional imprint finally leaves the body, everything shifts, your energy shifts, anxiety softens, breathing gets easier, confidence returns, boundaries become natural, life feels lighter. You don't have to force yourself to be positive anymore. You don't have to push or fight your own mind. You just choose to release what never belongs to you. So if something in you feel tired of carrying this heavy mental and emotional baggage, you're not alone. You're not crazy. Your body might just be ready to let go. This is the work I do every day. And I see people transformed in ways they never thought possible. And you can do it too. This podcast is for the soul who knows there is more, the one who's been carrying it all for far too long. If you're ready to let go of old stories, to stop replaying the past and start living from your truth, you're in the right place. This is your moment to release the noise and reconnect to what's real. Welcome to Baggage Begun, Healing Hearts and Minds. I'm Tammy Machmali. Have you ever felt that some of the fears or patterns holding you back might not even be yours? Welcome back to Baggage Begun, Healing Hearts and Minds podcast. I'm your host, Tammy Machmali, and I am grateful that you're here with me today. So let's take a breath, settle in, and let's open this conversation. Today we are diving into something powerful, something that so many people feel but almost no one talks about. The idea that some of the pain you carry, the fear, the shame, the anxiety, the heaviness may never have started in your lifetime at all. This kind of mental and emotional baggage can come from your family's past, from generations back, and yes, even from lifetimes ago. It can come from experiences you never lived, yet somehow you feel them in your body as if they happen to you. And in this episode, we are going to unpack and explore how inherited trauma works, how it gets passed down, and most importantly, how you can finally begin releasing what is not yours to carry. Before we go deep, I want to make sure we are speaking the same language, so bear with me. I am going to go over what is mental and emotional baggage. Mental and emotional baggage is the negative energy we carry from past experiences, even experiences we didn't witness personally. And this baggage does not only affect your mind, it affects your mood, your body, your nervous system, your confidence, your relationships, and your self-worth. It can feel like a heaviness, a pressure, an invisible block that stops you from being the magnificent gift that God created. It stops you from being who you know you really are and what you're capable of. It's keeping you stuck and overwhelmed most days. So I want you to imagine, just for a moment, living life on your own terms, free from the triggers of past stories, past people, old wounds and old memories, maybe even memories that were never yours to begin with. If you have been feeling stuck or overwhelmed, if you have been carrying emotions that don't make sense, if you ever wondered, why do I feel this way when nothing bad ever happened to me? Then this episode is for you. And I promise there is hope, there are solutions. If I made it, you all can make it. Real hope, because what I'm about to share changes my life and the lives of so many brave clients I have worked with. So let's begin. Before we talk about science, let's talk about the soul, because the soul came first. Judaism, Kabbalah, and mystical teachings all share one profound truth. Our soul is eternal, older than our body, wiser than our mind. The body is temporary, but our soul is forever. The Zohar even calls the soul a flame from the divine, meaning when our body finishes its journey, our soul continues on its path. And what's beautiful is that modern psychology has begun noticing the same thing. In the well-known book, I don't know if you read it, if you didn't, please go and buy it, Many Lives, Many Masters, psychiatrist Dr. Brian Weiss discovered that under hypnosis, patients began remembering fears, emotions, and trauma that did not come from their current lifetime. Isn't it fascinating? These emotional imprints travels forward until the soul was ready to heal them. Don't you think it's fascinating? Call it reincarnation, soul memory, or subconscious imprint. The language doesn't really matter. The message does. And the message is some of the pain, mental and emotional baggage we carry is older than our body. It didn't start in this childhood. It didn't start in this family, not even in this lifetime. And just hearing the truth brings some relief. For sure, it brought a lot of relief for me. I noticed relief for people who spend their whole life thinking something was wrong with them. And this is my story. Most of my life, I felt like something is off, like why I'm different. So let me say this clearly. If you feel emotions that are too big for your story, if you feel overwhelmed without a clear reason, if you feel that you're anxious and nothing really happened, you're not too emotional, you're not too dramatic, you're not broken, nothing is wrong with you. Your soul might simply be remembering something your mind does not consciously know or remember. In Kabbalah learning, this is called tikkun, a mission of repair, healing, and completion. We don't inherit pain to suffer, we inherit pain to let it go so the energy can flow freely. And in this lifetime, you may be the one chosen to end the cycle, have the conscious mind to be strong and say enough is enough. This stops with me. And this is really, really exciting. Not because your family did anything bad to you or your stories, but because when you shift, when you heal, when you open your heart for love through this process of shifting and transforming and moving on, you help the next generation to move on. You help the people around you, your family, your children, your spouses, your friends. And when you heal yourself, you heal the next generation and you heal backwards because the energy just travels. I want to share with you one of my clients' story. Sarah, she was a bright, talented young woman. On the outside, she looked so confident and perfect, but inside, she lived in a constant fear of failing, doing mistakes. She wanted to look perfect, do everything perfectly, and therefore, anxiety followed her everywhere, even when nothing was wrong. It started when she was very young. And she kept saying in our meetings, But nothing bad ever happened to me. My family was so loving. Everything was okay. I didn't go through apparent trauma. Why do I feel like this? And she was right. Nothing had happened, not in her lifetime. When we went through the process of the baggage began, healing hearts and minds, we find out a family secret that came out. Her grandmother was a Holocaust survivor, a woman who carried so much fear, loss, silence, and heartbreaks in her body. This woman, her grandmother, was holding her breath for decades because she wanted to feel safe, because safety never felt real for her. So she didn't want to share the story. As a result, Sarah thought something wrong with her. And even though Sarah never met that version of her grandmother that was in the Holocaust, the trauma was still alive in her nervous system. Her panic in crowded buses, her fear of being seen, her perfectionism, her sleepless nights, none of it belonged to her. She was living emotional memories that were not hers. And when we clear her mental and emotional baggage through hypnosis and through EMDR, she changed so much that it was amazing to witness her transformation. And I'm so proud of her because sometimes people are not willing to go through this process. But when you go through that, it's life-changing. And today she's so much different. Another person that was really exciting to witness his change was David, a successful man that was loved by so many, yet always felt alone, on edge, raging. Whenever he entered the room, he scanned every room. He panicked over any small surprise that he couldn't control. He couldn't sleep at night. He didn't have the experience of sleeping really deeply. Later, when we went through the process, he learned that both of his parents survived a brutal car accident. They were living in a depression time, and they experienced a lot of hunger and uncertainty. So their bodies learned to survive and not relax. And that pattern passed to him. His body carried this sense of disaster coming, hunger, that he never really experienced, yet he was always hoarding food. He had this fear that he never experienced. Maybe you hear pieces of yourself in these stories. I just told you about these two people and just touched a little bit about them, but if you like me and you feel like this sense of heaviness you cannot explain, or a fear that doesn't match your life, or sadness that comes out of nowhere, and maybe you have asked, what's wrong with me? Why am I feeling like that? But what if nothing is wrong with you at all? What if your body is carrying emotional DNA that was passed to you from generations ago and lifetimes ago? Just like eye color and height, trauma can be inherited, believe it or not. And when we release that inherited pain through subconscious work, people begin living in a different world. Believe it or not, it's life-changing. It's so transformative. And this can happen really easily and effortlessly. And people don't know about that. They breathe differently, they think differently, they trust themselves, their intuition guides them to find the answers themselves. They no longer walk around feeling like they're doomed and carrying this backpack of heaviness. And they can make choices they were once too afraid to make. They can speak up, they can go places without being afraid. Because when inherited trauma leaves the body and you let go, life becomes bigger. You can see what's more possible for you. You start asking big questions. You no longer just survive. You want to live bigger. And I'm going to continue by sharing with you my own story, something personal, because I didn't learn this from textbook, whatever I'm talking to you. I learned it by living it, by experiencing it. I learned it by living inside it. For many years, my life looked completely normal on the outside. I knew how to fake looking perfect and doing everything perfectly. People saw me smiling, functioning, building, doing all the things life expected from me, from us. But inside, I felt this heaviness that I'm different. I was always anxious, on edge for reasons I couldn't really explain. I would wake up with a pain in my chest or a sadness in my heart, even on days when nothing was wrong. I could be on a best vacation and I will feel like this. I will be hugging my kids and I will feel like this. Some days I felt like something inside me was drowning and I didn't know why. And like so many of you, I tried everything. I went to therapy, so many years of therapy. Believe it or not, 28 of therapy, looking for answers. I started reading a self-help book from the time I was 14. I went to so many workshops, hired many coaches, went to meditation, went to courses, online courses, Zoom courses, hired outside help, and nothing worked. And each thing helped a little, but nothing explained the intensity of what I felt. And of course, because I didn't have answers, I blame myself and my parents. I used to tell myself, maybe you're too emotional. Maybe you need to work harder, get skinnier, make more money. Maybe you're too sensitive. Maybe I am not strong enough. Other people had it worse. Why can't I just be okay? What's wrong with me? I'm not enough. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody ever told me that some of the emotions inside my body were not even mine. Until one day, when I went to do the mental and emotional release, through the deep subconscious work, just like the work I now guide my clients through, the truth became clear. The heaviness I was carrying and all these BS thoughts, all these old limiting beliefs and patterns was older than me. It came from generations before me, from women who held trauma in silence, women who had no one to heal them, no one to hold them, no tools to process the pain, so their nervous systems passed it forward. Sometimes we get it from the womb. When our moms are pregnant, we can get it from the grandma because our mom carried that. And the moment I understood that, something huge shifted in me. For the first time in my life, instead of asking, what's wrong with me, I started questioning, is this even mine? And the answer oftentimes was no. When I began releasing that inherited mental and emotional baggage, the pain through hypnosis, subconscious healing, and energy work, something beautiful happened. I could breathe freely. I felt free. I felt lighter. I felt like I lost weight. And I actually lost, in a matter of a week, 7 pounds. My intuition was so good. My confidence came back. My joy, my voice, my soul started waking up and being so alive, and my energy shifted and I felt so powerful. Healing inherited trauma does not just remove pain. It wakes up your identity. It brings you home to you, to yourself, to the gifts that God gave you, but you couldn't tap into them because they were masked by so much trauma and mental and emotional baggage. It's not even yours. So let's have a truth moment. Most people believe they should only feel pain from things they personally lived through. So they think, if I didn't experience trauma, why do I feel like this? Why am I anxious for no reason? Why do I panic in situations that should feel safe? Why do I shut down when nothing bad is happening? Here is the truth. Modern science now proves that spiritual wisdom has been saying for centuries, trauma can be inherited. This is called intergenerational trauma. Research on children of Holocaust survivors actually shows something remarkable. Even if the children never experienced trauma themselves like the parents or grandparents did in the Holocaust, their bodies behaved as if they had. Highly anxious, highly stressed hormones, faster heart rate, difficulty relaxing. And I remember when I moved from Iran to Israel, I had a friend that her grandparents were in the Holocaust. And believe it or not, she had all these symptoms and we were only 6 years old. And now when I look back, I understand that. It's like the body remembers a story that we never lived. So trauma therapist Mark Wallin calls this secondary PTSD. When the grief, terror, or shock of our ancestors shows up in us, then we carry the secondary PTSD. Our nervous system carries emotional DNA. Isn't it fascinating just to have the awareness? And here is the hopeful part. I had to add that because I don't like to leave you thinking, oh, I'm doomed. You're not doomed. Nothing is wrong with you. That's knowledge opened doors for all of us. When I learned that, I felt like I won the lottery, because these tools will guide you. If you stay until the end, I'm providing you with 5 tools that will help you to release the mental and emotional baggage that you inherited. And if you need help, of course, these are like tools that are easy to do at home. And if you need more help, I would love to guide you. I have 30 minutes free call on my website. You can go and call me, or you can DM me and I will contact you back. These patterns are not permanent. They are not your destiny, and they are not a life sentence, because they're part of your journey. The same way trauma can be passed down, the shifting, transforming, healing can be passed down too. You can rewire the nervous system with hypnotherapy. It's really fascinating. You can release emotional memories that never belonged to you. You can break the cycle. You're not stuck. Remember, you're not broken. You're carrying something that your body is finally ready to release. And it's really amazing how we can do that and how we can tap into it. People ask me all the time how we can clear these limiting beliefs. Before I move to the tools, I added this part for you. Since these old stories that we accumulated in our subconscious mind are basically mental and emotional baggage, it's a fascinating journey where we use hypnosis, energy work, and other techniques to bypass the conscious mind and enter the subconscious mind, reaching what is called the alpha state. Here we uncover the root cause of the problem, the issue that causes this discord. And here we're talking about deep issues that are stored in our DNA because our grandparents, or even from lifetimes ago. This is a beautiful process where you may witness images and flashes, seeing yourself when the issue first happened. You can visualize life experiences and other people and situations through your subconscious mind, guided to discover where it all began, so we can clear the energetic baggage stored in your body and mind. Through your intuition, you can even discern how many generations back or lifetimes ago these feelings oriented. What we do in my practice is we quiet the mind and gently tap into the subconscious mind, which is basically the alpha state, allowing you to identify the beliefs that drive your energy and influence your actions, from this empowering place to implementing empowering positive messages, as if we are rewiring a positive scenario instead of the old one, the painful one. And when we unveil the root cause of these beliefs, it's often very deep in the subconscious. You get to experience a relief that is priceless. Now, here I want you to imagine your life as a tree. If the leaves are all over, they are growing, we don't fix the leaves. We look at, if the leaves are not looking good, we don't fix the leaves. We look at the roots in order to heal the tree. Because when the roots are tangled with old pain, the branches struggle to grow. But when we clear the roots, the entire tree transforms. And this is exactly how inherited trauma works. You are not fixing and taking care of surface symptoms. You are healing from the subconscious root cause of the problem. And here are simple, powerful steps you can begin today. I encourage you to try them because these were transforming for me and my clients. First, notice the emotions that don't match your story. This is one of the first signs of inherited trauma. And I want you to pay attention. If you have ever felt like fear, sadness, panic, anger, shame, or perfectionism that feels larger than the moment, larger than whatever you're going through, pause and gently ask yourself, could this be inherited? The question alone will help you to open the door to ask yourself if it's yours or not. It gives your nervous system permission to breathe and understand that it's yes or no. Oftentimes, when I ask my body this question, my beautiful body, is this pain or trauma or anxiety is mine? My body is respond no, because it's not mine. And then I send it to the sender. Trauma expert Dr. Basil van der Kolk teaches that the body stores trauma even when the mind has no memories. Isn't it interesting? Your mind might not remember these things from lifetimes ago, generations ago, but the body does. So if you have pain and you're suffering, maybe this pain, it's not yours, it's just trying to give you a message. And simply recognizing that possibility begins awareness that it's shifting and healing. Second, explore your roots. You don't need every detail of your story. Even one piece of awareness changes your nervous system. Ask about family history. Oftentimes when I guide my clients, I ask them about all this information. Did they experience war, immigration, poverty, hunger, illness, or sudden loss, secrets, emotional silence, addiction, abandonment? All these are hidden traumas. When you learn that your feelings have a history, your nervous system stops treating them like danger. Then you can approach yourself with compassion that replaces all this confusion you're going through. Suddenly you realize, oh my God, there is nothing wrong with me. And this is my experience with my clients. All of a sudden you understand that your emotions have a reason and that you're allowed to release them. It's okay for you not to carry that anymore. And if this feels too big to explore alone, this is where guided work becomes life-changing. And I would love to hear from you. Please let me know if you need any guidance. I'm here for you. This is where hypnosis and energy healing can really untangle the root cause of your problem or trauma and guide you easily and effortlessly. So the whole tree can finally breathe and you can live and see all the possibilities that God gave you. I have guided so many people through this and I have watched miracles happen. People who felt stuck for years suddenly feel light again. People who lived in fear begin to trust themselves. People who felt small started living boldly a big life. Awareness opens the door, but guided healing brings transformation. And remember, you don't need to do that alone. Third, inherited trauma lives in the subconscious mind, not the thinking mind. I touched about it before. This is why talk therapy, talking logically and talking about having willpower, often does not really work on their own. Hypnosis and energy work speak to the part of the brain where emotional memory lives and they store there like the bank of memory. This is where the old programming is stored, and this is where we can heal and find a change and change the scenario and program what we want. In sessions, we go to the root where the fear first formed, where the emotional imprints enter the body, what the nervous system has been carrying without your permission. Once the subconscious mind feels safe, we release it from the root, whatever no longer serving you, belonging to you, so you can live fully. And this is not reversible. This is not just woohoo temporary changes. You will not bounce back. And the shifts are real and they're amazing because all of a sudden your sleep improves, there's no anxiety, your relationship change, the body relaxes, you feel confidence, your intuition wakes up, the answers are within yourself. This is the foundation of the baggage began method. There we clear the emotional and mental baggage, and that's so deep and effectively. The results are for good. I would love to hear from you if you need more help. Number 4, it's the EMDR. The eye movement therapy that I experienced. There is science behind EMDR because when the eyes move side to side or diagonally, the brain receives signals that activate both brain hemispheres at once, and it combines them and balances them. This helps the brain process emotional memories that were stuck in our subconscious mind in the survival mode parts of the brain. People that went through that describe it that I finally feel the memory is in the past. It's not triggering me. It's not looking like it's happening right now in my body anymore. And they feel release. And I have seen EMDR helps the brain. It reduces emotional intensity, process old trauma, calm the nervous system, move from reaction into clarity. You no longer feel like the events happen right now. And I don't know if you heard about it. It is used worldwide for trauma, anxiety, and PTSD. And oftentimes therapists use it because it works with the body's natural healing system, not against it. And it's really interesting how you can use this technique to bring so much healing. Now, the 5th tool, it's the heart coherence breathing. This is one of the simplest, most effective tools you can do at home. And I really recommend to try it at least once or 3 times a week. I love that. I try every time I have a minute because I see how it shifts my mood, my energy, and it's brought so much love to my heart. The HeartMath Institute has proven that specific breathing patterns puts the nervous system into a healing state. Here's how you do that. Very simply, you sit Legs are grounded and your hands are untangled. In a very relaxed state, you inhale slowly for 5 seconds. Then you exhale for 10 seconds. Inhale slowly for 5 seconds and then exhale for 10 seconds. Then you bring attention to the center of your chest, to your heart, and you think of someone or something you appreciate, something good that happened to you. You may put your right hand and then your left hand on your heart and just massage it and imagine that there is a beautiful light from God, as if you are a vessel, open vessel, sending you love from God to your heart, in and out. So you're breathing 5, you exhaling 10 seconds. Breathe in 5 and exhale 10, and you touching your heart and you imagining a very positive experience. And as you do that, you can do it for 60 to 90 seconds. You can shift your body out of stress and into safety. You can inhale, seeing all this beautiful light, the gifts that God gave you, and exhaling the stress, the stuckness, the anxiety, the overwhelm. When the heart becomes coherent, the brain and nervous system follow. Isn't it amazing? You can even imagine a warm light in your chest, in your heart. Imagine that light traveling back through your family line, softening whatever needs letting go and releasing. You don't need to repeat the history. You don't have to know the history, because your subconscious mind remembers and knows. You have this brilliant knowing machine, your body. Let it work for you, for your advantage. This is why many clients use the heart coherence between sessions. It keeps the nervous system learning safety. And sometimes it might be for the first time in their lives. And if you're feeling like it's your first time, just try it. And if you have questions, please contact me. So what happens when you release inherited trauma? I'm going to repeat because I said that before. Science and experiences agree that when you release mental and emotional baggage and the trauma from lifetimes ago, generations ago, your anxiety decreases, your body relaxes, your intuition gets stronger. You get the answers by yourself without needing answers from the outside. All your relationships improve because the energy flows in a healthy way. Your decision-making gets easier. You feel joy and creativity that returns. You stop abandoning yourself to please others. Your life feels bigger, lighter, and safer. This is not just imagination. This is biology. When the emotional imprints leaves the nervous system, the body finally gets to live in the present with all your gifts, with all your contribution. No more living in the past. Before we wrap up, I want to tell you that that's not just woohoo things. You are listening to this because something inside you is ready for doing the work, going through the healing. Something inside you is tired of carrying so much mental and emotional baggage, and your nervous system is crying out loud, get me out of here. You don't have to do it alone, and you don't have to suffer your way through it. You deserve support, you deserve tools, you deserve relief and letting go of all this baggage. So if this episode spoke to you, if you recognize yourself in these stories, if something inside you whispered, this might be me, I want you to know that you are not alone. I'm here for you. Healing inherited trauma is really gentle work, deep work. It's really sacred work. It's special work, and you don't have to do it yourself. You're welcome to schedule a free clarity call with me. We will talk about what you're carrying, what you've been feeling, and whatever the baggage begun healing journey is the right path for you. You deserve a life that feels like yours, that you can be you, share your gifts, your contribution, make this world a better place, where your heart feels so safe and you're excited and you feel joy in your body, and your body is calm and peaceful, and your mind can think and create and heal the next generation because you're healing yourself. All the details are in the show notes. And I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for staying until now, listening, for being open, for choosing yourself, and for being here with me today. Remember, the pain you feel might not be yours, and that means you can let it go. And if this episode spoke to you, please share it with others that might be benefiting from it. Share, comment. It's going to help me to record other podcasts. And that means so much to me. Until next time, stay compassionate, stay curious, and keep loving yourself. I'm grateful to walk this path with you. Sending you so much love. See you next week. If you're curious and want to dive deeper, you are in the right space. I ask you to look within for all the things that you want to do, be, and have. Join me at the Baggage Begun Healing Hearts and Minds podcast with new episodes every Wednesday as we discover the path towards healing and transformation.